In terms of the worldwide patterns for the RAN intelligent controllers, what we're seeing is that the operators are now moving from their technology assessments to actual deployments. And one fact you can look at is the RFQs and RFPs that are coming out from the operators. They're moving now from just RFIs where they're gathering information to actually proposals and quotes where they're looking for deployment. So it's definitely going to take an uptick in the coming months.
So I think, to try to understand the economic impact of the RAN controller industry or the RIC and Open RAN presumes that there is, in fact, an industry and a marketplace for the RIC and Open RAN and the RF and the XApps. And I think at this point in time, the jury is still out as to whether that forms or not, or whether it verticalizes in terms of what's going on in the industry. And my hope is that it remains open, it remains innovative, and that we see a lot of companies participate in that industry. But once again, it's still not clear. I think from my perspective, the jury is still out.
So RIC by default is supposed to be an open platform, right? Where multiple application developers develop X apps and R apps to run on any RIC platform, right? So the ORAN Alliance has done an excellent job of, defining the RIC framework. And then on top of that, application developers will build on, right? And that's the philosophy, and perhaps the first time we're seeing that the industry is adapting to it, rather than focusing on something that's closed.
Okay, how the regulation affects the development of the RICs? This is a very good question. It affects the development in very different way. So when we post good regulation, it could stimulate the whole market to develop new ideas, new use cases, new solutions. But when we fixed this statement wrong, it could stop the development of the whole market and environment. Also, there are two main things that need to be covered by the specification. For example, the conflict mitigation, and the second aspect is the security problems. So basically, that's all.
So this is a vital question for the industry, whether RIC will be regulated by, say, the ORAN Alliance or 3GPP or another industry body, or it will be left open, right? Now, in my opinion, the answer is in the middle, right? So we don't need heavy regulation, but we cannot leave it up to the market to decide because there are many risks there. Perhaps the risk of RIC becoming closed. So I think, in my opinion, RIC will be somewhere in the middle. Neither regulated heavily, but not completely open, right? But again, these platforms that, telcos and companies like VMware are building are very important at the moment.
Partnering with VMware by Broadcom has been very positive for Future Connections. Future Connection has been developing applications. So the benefits are bringing us is to test the interoperability, to improving standards. We have been developing and improving our interfaces with the RIC and our applications to the new Open RAN standards. Yes. Partnering with VMware is very positive for the ecosystem because we bring innovations together.
So VMware's platform, the RIC, enables our partners to innovate faster. We've created an open infrastructure where our partners can come in, develop applications that their customers need. So for example, we have some partners that have developed XApps or RApps to optimize performance of the network for short-form video. In other cases, it might be for more energy efficiency. Other cases, it might be for better utilization of resources. So what we've done is just create this open infrastructure that people can come in and innovate on quickly and develop new apps to make the best solutions for their customers.
VMware has been an extraordinarily wonderful partner for us. We've engaged VMware at the engineering level, at the marketing level, at the go-to-market level. At every one of those levels, VMware has been extremely good to work with. We have several other partners that we also work with. I would actually put VMware at the top of the list in terms of companies that IRA likes to work with. And that's reflected in the employees that we engage with and the energy that we put into it being matched by the energy from the VMware side. Why does that matter? We're a startup. We're highly dependent on our partners for scale. And so we depend heavily on companies like VMware for their scale so that we can effectively expand our voice and our footprint and our capabilities and ultimately get the telcos who are our customers mutually to benefit. So we love the partnership. We hope it continues.
So basically we are using the RICs. This is a very good product. This is very stable, and also in opinion of our developer is very good because we can easily create and develop new ideas. Also, okay, I need to mention a very good and active support from the side of the VMware, because knowing this support, we can predict the future easily and deliver our products very fast.